Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Ormark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And we've been doing quite a series of way back when and looking at your stash and bringing things out. And I thought today we would do a fun vintage card with sort of crumb cake and craft card, and we're mixing so that you can see that you can mix old with new, or well loved with new. This stamp set, absolutely loved it. It was called Live Your Dream, and it's got a lovely old clock, sort of a grandfather clock without the case. It's got lovely silhouette figures. It's got this beautiful one with the little girl swinging from the tree. Not using that one. I'm going to use the other ones, and I'm using some sentiments that are current. I'm using a punch that's current, so you can hopefully see that you can mix and match a lot of things. So let me get the ones out that I want. So I want these two little silhouette figures, and I want the frame for it to go into, and then we're going to have the big grandfather clock without the case. Okay, so what are we using? I am using, and this again is taking things from my stash, so I have got a piece of craft card, which is a it's a square card, and it happens to measure 5 3/4 by, oh, it's a 5 3/4 square. So basically, you know, just cut like that. Just happened to be one that I had in my stash. I've put a piece of crumb cake, and this is 5 1/2 square. So that's going to go in on top. And then I've got some, a white piece that we're going to age, which is 3 1/4 by 3 by 5. So basically they're just bits and scraps and pieces that I've got, because it doesn't matter. We're going to be stamping on them. We're going to be doing all sorts of bits and pieces on them. So first of all, we are going to, on a couple of scraps, we are going to do the frame, and we're going to do the little cameos to go inside. So good black ink, and I'm just gonna put one in there and one in there. Again, you don't have to use these stamps if you haven't got them in your stash. You can use whatever you want. I'm just trying to do it, so I'm going to try and get her relatively central, and get the little boy relatively central as well. There we are. So we've got two little silhouettes, not perfectly central, but again, it doesn't matter because we are going to age them. So let me just clean this up so I haven't got a mess everywhere. But this is what I have been saying throughout this series, that, you know, we tend to buy, particularly if you're a demonstrator like me, you tend to buy lots of things, and I know some people sell all their things, but you know, there's lots I keep forever and ever because I really love them, but again, I don't get to use them all the time. So this is a way of actually going back into your stash and going, yes, I'm going to have a go at using this. So colours we're using, because it's we're using craft card and we're using crumb cake, is I'm using crumb cake and I'm using soft suede. So we're going to use the crumb cake first of all, and I should have a piece of scrap here somewhere that I was using earlier on. Here we go. Right, so I'm going to put these on here, and I am going to, no, first of all I'm going to punch them out. So rectangular postage stamp punch. In the catalogue you can get it. It is so versatile, and it works really well for doing these sorts of things. Now, it's not going to be exactly the same size. That doesn't matter, because it just gives you that postage stamp look. So we're going to punch that one out, and then we're going to do exactly the same thing with this one. And we've then got this lovely little postage stamp which we can now age. So crumb cake, blending brush, and literally all I'm doing is taking it round. You can do it as light or as dark as you want. I'm leaving it just a little bit paler in the center on the silhouette so it's not all the same color, so it gives you a sort of an ombre look. So that's one, and then we'll do the other one. And just take it around the edges. So again, if you want to age something and make it look more vintage, crumb cake is a great colour to use because you can just get that aged look around it. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do on that one, but I am going to take, and I need to just grab them, my sponge daubers, and then I want to darken up. So let me get, that's my soft suede. Let me get my soft suede, which is just darker, and then I can take it round on here and just darken the postage stamp part, because then it will just stand out a little bit more. Okay, so that's one. You can see the difference between it. It really just brings it to life. So let me just do this one. Just hope that I didn't do the other one off camera. I'm always doing things down here where you can't see it, so I have to remember to do it. I get a bit carried away sometimes and forget I'm doing this on camera. Okay, so those are those two pieces. Very simple and easy to do. We're going to use these colours as well. Now what I'm going to do is I need two, so those pieces are done. We also need two. I want to do something with this, and I want to do something with this background here. So I need something which is, again, one of my favourites is I'm just trying to find it. It is, there we go. It's the Quiet Meadow, because you've got the words and things in there. Doesn't really matter too much what the words are. I need to get a block out now. You see, I've been using these wooden stamps. I must admit, I do love the wooden ones. They are my absolute favourites. They really are, and they stamp beautifully forever and ever and ever. You know, you never need to really worry about them at all. But you know, they became, people needed more space and didn't have enough space. You see, I have tall bookcases, and instead of putting books in them, I put my stamps in them because the cases look beautiful. And so that's where I have all my stamps and things. So, right, we're going to have these words on here. And it doesn't really matter what way. You know, I always go and I can't remember which way it is. Doesn't matter too much, because what we're doing is we're doing a background first of all. So this piece is going to be tone on tone. And we only need to go around the edges because we're going to have a piece coming on. So I'm just going to, let's have a look and see what this is, whether it's the right way up or not. Okay, it's not, so I need to turn it round and turn this round that way. So if you do it on a piece of paper or card like this, you know that it doesn't really matter too much because you've got the other side. So I need to just do the top and the bottom of it like this. I'm going to do down this side a bit because, and again, you don't want it to be completely sort of uniform. It can be, you know, light and dark as it is on there, but because this is going to come here, I don't need to do it all over. In fact, I do need to do some on this little side. So like that. Okay, so we've done that on that one, and then I want to do, so we can take that out of the way, I want to do the same sort of thing on here. So with this one, I'm literally just going to randomly do it as I've shown you before, like that, and then that's that one done. Let me get my Simply Chamois. I need to clean them up. Okay, and then we are going to take the splatter, which I always say splatters work really well with things. So we're going to take the splatter on this one, and we're going to take this again. So you've seen me do this before quite a bit, but it just helps to tie things in nicely like that. So that's that one. I don't need to do it on that one, so it's literally just on there to just tie it in a little bit. Okay, now we need to age this paper, and we also need to do the stamping. So we've got this clock, and I want to put the clock in on the center of this piece. So let me take my good black ink again, because this obviously is a, you can see it's quite a solid image, so we want to have it so that it's coming beautifully down on the center. So we'll just take that straight down on the center like that, and then you've got that going over, which looks absolutely lovely because it's coming right the way through, which is exactly what we wanted, and you've got that lovely sort of filigree part on it. So really quite like that one. And put that up on there. Okay, so if we bring this back in here, and I want to distress it a bit more, I'm just laying it out to see how it's going to go. Okay, that's going to work fine like that. What I do want to do though is I would like to distress this a bit by just taking it round the edges, and if you do it right up to the edge, and you can either tear backwards or tear forwards, but you need to sort of just do it so that you're not taking too much of the card away. So I just want a little bit on here, and I'm just going to go down the sides. So you can see I'm not taking a huge amount off. It doesn't have to be, the idea is that you don't want it particularly straight. So if you're taking it, you can see my fingers won't quite go all the way down, but take it as far as you can, and then take it from the other bits, so that you're supporting the other side so that it doesn't, you know, come off too much. And also tears, that you don't get a nice clean tear, because the idea is that you get a good sort of clean tear on it. So we're just going to go all the way around the side on this. And I'm not doing it on the base, because I think sometimes you can do too much. You know, we just want it to give that little vintage look to it without it being overly done. But we stamp it first, but then we distress the colour with the, exactly the same as we did with the silhouette. So we're going to do it with crumb cake and then the soft suede, and it will give that vintagey look. Okay, so if I then just put that back on here, you can see how it's starting to get that sort of distressed look from there. So we need both of these pieces. They can come off because we've done them, and we need to take our crumb cake out again, and we can then just literally go round on the edge of this. Now I tend to, and that's my preference, I tend to not re-ink my ink pad before I'm doing this, because I don't want it to be overly juicy. I want it to be nice for doing this, but as I said, I don't want it to be overly juicy. If you make it too juicy, it can get a bit sort of blobby, and it doesn't really work quite as well, I don't think, anyway. Okay, so that's that one, and you can see I've left the inside as it is because I didn't want that too much. And then we're just going to go round the side of this one, and you can see what we're doing is we're just giving it a nice distressed look. Now if you've got embossing folders, you can put it through an embossing folder as well to just add another bit of texture on there, so then when you sponge it through like this or blend it through with the blending brush, you're going to get a different look on it. I just like to, as I say, just take it through so that you've changed the look of the card. So if we put, sure it's opening the right way, that's going to come on there, so that's given a nice sort of distressed look to it. That's going to come on there. We now need to just take it up that one level by taking the soft suede and taking the sponge dauber, and we're going to go round the edge of these because that just gives it that darker look. And again, if you wanted to tear it, you could. I don't like tearing all the layers. You know, I think it's quite nice to have a bit of a balance in there. So this is going to have just that little bit of a balance. So I'll take this along on here. And as I say, you can add layers and things. You can have bits of ribbon. In fact, we might distress some ribbon and put some on there. Again, it's just giving that little vintage look. Right, that's that one to go on there. And then we'll take this one out and just take this round the edge like this. And you can see how it really picks it up when you're doing this torn paper. It just gives that extra little layer on there, and it's worth taking the time to do these little bits and pieces because that's what just give things a little bit of, you know, extra texture and things on there. Okay, so let's have a look and see how that's going to work out. I think it's going to look quite good. So we can put this one down on here, so let's start building it up a bit. So this is the crumb cake onto the craft card. I want it opening that side and make sure I've got my words running the right way down, and we'll put that on there. Now you can see how just doing this edge gives a real nice look to it. Then this piece is going to go down on here, and then these two we're going to take down like that. Okay, so let's take this one, and where you've torn it, you need to make sure that you're taking your glue right the way up to the edges, because otherwise you'll find that the little pieces won't stick in and they will come down. And I don't want these to be left put up with dimensionals. It needs to come flat to have that torn paper look. So, and the postage stamp then, as I say, will just come in on here, so we can have the little girl down at the bottom like that, and then we can have this one up on here like that. Then I can take it over and give it a good rub. Okay, so that's the basis. Now we need to put, I want to put some sentiments and things on there. So I have brought out, because I like some of these and they're quite small. So again, this is one that is current and it is Through It Together. And I wanted Follow Your Dreams and My Friend. So we're going to chop a few about and try and see. So where's Follow Your Dreams? You always have to look at them and try and find where it is. Can I see it? I can't for looking, can I? Let's go this one. Where's Follow Your Dreams? Well, I can't see it. Can you see it? Follow Your Dreams. Oh, there it is. Right, so it's that one. That's Follow Your Dreams. And then what was the other one? My Friend. Stay Strong, My Friend. I just want the My Friend bit. So, Stay Strong, My Friend's up the top. Okay. Probably should have looked at getting these out beforehand, shouldn't I? But never mind. Okay, so what we're going to do is need to get a little tiny block out for this one. And we're going to take this onto a little piece like this. Now again, we need to distress it before we do it. So we're going to take the crumb cake. Whee! That's come out of its thing. I'll have to pop it back in a minute. Where's my scrap piece? There it is. So on here, we're just going to take our I'm doing this only because we're going to be cutting it out, and so I want to have this already done. Okay, so on this, and we're going to do it with black, so let's put Follow Your Dreams, and we want that with our good black ink. So we can take that on there, Follow Your Dreams. I might do it a couple of times. And then on the other one, I'm just going to have the My Friend. So take that out, put My Friend. Whoops. So we'll have that. My Friend. Didn't want that on there. I wanted it on black, didn't I? That's it. A bit overly done there, but that can go in like that. Okay, so we've done our sentiments in on there. Put that just on there. I can sort that out later. And then we just need to take our paper snips. Whoops, sorry, I've just joggled the camera. Apologies. Paper snips. They're about somewhere, but I've got so much on my desk because when I start crafting, I tend to have lots of things everywhere. So I want to have on here the Follow Your Dreams, which are quite nice wording. And this is where you literally just take it and I'm just taking it round on the shape. To take it up like this. So we can have Follow Your Dreams. Or we could have it where you take each one of the words out so that you have, now I think Follow Your Dreams will be like that, but I do want My Friend to just be the 2 words. So I'm taking out the stay strong, and this is where words are quite good. You can actually take words from all sorts of things. You take words out of magazines, anything you want really. So follow your dream, follow your dreams, my friend. Now, where am I going to put it? Do want it a little bit at an angle, and I might actually just have it there as I've put it, because that's going to come in onto the center, isn't it? Yes, that I think will work. Or I could have it down in on there. I do need to just take this and do around the outside of it. There should be just about enough, hopefully, on here to do it. So that's that one. And then I need to do the same with this one. Like that. And then I'm going to put the follow your dreams. Like that. And then I'm going to put my friend on there. Just in underneath, so you've got a bit that comes from one to the other. And then you can, if you want to, and I might carry on and finish it, but this sort of gives you the basis, you can put some ribbon in on there, and as I say, distress the ribbon. Again, you can distress most ribbon by just you know, rubbing ink and things on it, or using an alcohol marker to change the colour. But you've got this really rather nice vintage looking card, very simply done with a bit of torn paper, and you can use whatever you want. So hope you enjoyed that. As always, please stay safe and well, please be kind, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye bye.